Hi guys, welcome to the flight today, as we are in the 737-300 and we're going to do a flight to Belfast City with the Air Lingus livery, which should be really good today as we get ready to depart. I'm going to be leaving out on the runway 423 left and coming in for 22. So, don't forget to like and subscribe guys, and then we can get into the cockpit and start the aircraft up, ready for our departure. Here we are now in the 737-300, so we'll go overhead, we'll get the battery on and guarded, standby power is guarded and ground power is on. Go to bat and ground power, which is also on and set. And go ahead and arm the emergency lights. Go and get the fasten seatbelt signs, along with the no smoking, which can go on. We'll get our window heats all on as well, along with the resets, which are auto, and the packs are also auto. APU bleed is on, and we're going to get the APU all ready to go. So, low oil pressure is ignited. We'll get the left pump in, ready for us to leave. Engine starts will be to both. And as we get ready, we'll get the IRS is now aligned, ready to go. So we'll go to nav 1, nav 2, which is all checked. 7 minutes to align. The APU is now ready. We can switch the APU over. We'll go to the APU gen, which will be on for us. We get the yaw damper on as well, which will be set. As we check out on our flight level today, we're going to be leaving out for a flight level of 240, and landing elevation coming down into Dublin will get all set as we just get ready to leave. So we're going to the FMC. We'll get the position. We've got Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. We'll shove that in, just going to shove it in here so we can get the route all ready and established. We're coming in for Echo Golf Alpha Charlie. On the departure route, we're going to be leaving out for 23 left. And we're going to be taking the Ixeg 1 Yankee. Leaving out from Ixeg, we're going to be taking the Yankee 5-3. Then full Maggie on the arrival, we are coming in for the ILS for runway 22. Transition off for Maggie, and that will be the route all set and ready for us to go. So as we now go and get the aircraft all ready, we'll go in and get the 44.5. Plan 6.8, reserves we've got 2. Cost index leaving out, we've got 17. Cruising altitude is 240, which is all set. I'm going to leave the cruise wind, etc., as I haven't got it on me just yet. On for takeoff, do full takeoff, and we'll go into a climb 1. And as you can see, we've got 119. So if we've got 119, what we can do is we can go back onto the path. We'll go to the M1. We'll take a D rate, and we'll take climb 2 on takeoff. We've got flaps 5, which will all go in for us. 119, 121, and a 1314 V2, which we can plug in. Okay, 132, which is set. Over for the cost index, the center of gravity is 29.4. That's going to give us 3.4 on the trim. So Tug's going to lift us up now. We have got the parking brake, which is on, so he is going to lift us up as we are ready to go. So we've got the parking brake in. As he's lifting us up off of the ground, we can get the aircraft fully ready now. So all fuel pumps are on and checked. Galley's on. Packs can now go off, which are also set. The APU bleed is on, and we've got the isolation valve, which is now open. Landing elevation coming through onto the runway. We are looking for 15 on the elevation. Okay, which is set. And for 240, we've got 2009 on the cabin altitude. Okay, which is also set and checked. We can set that to flight now, so we don't forget. And we can release the parking brake, which is also set. Auto brake can be RTO. Now we can arm the auto throttle. So as we push back now, we've got the engine starts, which are already set, ready for us. So we'll go for engine number 2. So we can see N2 is coming to life for engine number 2. and it gets to around 25%, we'll inject fuel. We'll see the EGT start to increase. We can see the hydraulic pressure coming in as well as we get the electric and the hydraulic pumps all on. So 25%, we'll inject fuel and we'll see EGT start to increase as N1 slowly starts to come to life. So we see now EGT has stabilised on for engine number 2, and we'll go ahead for engine number 1. Into increasing, 25% will inject fuel, and we'll see engine number 1 now start to increase. So engine number 1 and 2 has come over. We can now set the parking brake, so the tug can now leave. We can switch over the buses, which are all set and ready for us to go. We can get the probes in, which are checked. Get the packs back to auto. The isolation valve can go to auto. The engine bleeds can go on now, along with APU bleed, which is off. As everything else is all off, we can turn the APU off, as we've got engine number 1 and 2 now all aligned. Auto brake is RTO, and we go down for a flaps. Now we're leaving off as we get ready to leave. On for the departure route, we're going to be taking the Airclad 1 Yankee, taking a right hand turn to the 285 3.2 DME from the 11355, which we'll get in right now and set and checked for us. So as we can see, we've got the radios, got everything all in and checked for us as we get ready to leave, and we've got the 11355. So now we've got the flaps down, which are set. We can put in the 11355, which is going to be for Manchester's VOR, which is the 11355, which we can see and check, which will be all in and ready for us to go. So as we're leaving, we're going to be leaving out onto the runway heading, which is going to be for 23 left, which is going to be 232. Okay, which is checked. We'll get the head and select on, which will be pre-armed. We'll get LNAV on after once we leave out. Got the 285, which we're going to intercept on. Okay, which is all set and checked. Bring the control column over now, as we are ready to leave. Let's do full left, full right, full back, full forward, rudder left and rudder right. So on our taxi charts, we're going to basically taxi on down to runway 23. We can take a left onto hotel 2 and then cross into hotel, and then we can come all the way up and down onto the runway, which will take on for uniform 2, which will get us out of for 23 left. So we go ahead now, we'll get our taxi lights on, we can ding the cabin, and we are now all ready to go. So parking brake released. That's hotel 2. And we're going to basically cross right away over onto hotel. As we get ready to go. So taxi charts now, I'm going to cross straight over through hotel. As we cross over the hold, we get the strobe lights on as we are crossing over an active runway. just to pass over the whole short, strobes can now go off. So as we continue on down hotel now, we're going to basically come down to the fourth right, fourth left, and that's going to be our departure, ready for us to go. Auto brakes are RTO, flaps are flap 5, we've got 981 on the QNH. Coming through 15 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Visibility 7,000 meters. As we come through, fourth right hand turn is what we're going to take in. We've got a climb reduction of 800 feet AGL, and I have got a 737 performance calculator, so we will be using the cell temp etc on the 800 when we fly it next. It does have the noise abatement procedures as well, so that'll be really good to use. It's got the climb and acceleration reduction heights. So we're looking to come in on uniform 2. Passing through Victor 6, then uniform 2 is going to be on our left. Oh, that looks like uniform 2. That's where we're going to join on for 23 left. Cabin crew, take your seats for departure. So as we get ready to pass over the whole short line, strobes can go off, we'll get the logo on as well, runway tunnels can go on and taxis can go off. As the cabin is ready, start switches can go to continuous, and we're ready to line up for runway 23 left. To go now, what we can do is we'll get the landing lights on, which are all set, heading mode select is on as we get 400 feet, then we'll get LNAV engaged, and VNAV will go on after flat retraction speed. We've also got 5,000 set in for the altitude restrictions once we come up, so we are all now ready to go, so we can release the brakes, can power on up to 45%, push forward on a column, and toga. Speed live. 100 knots. It's back on the column. V1 rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Okay, gear is up and retracted, no lights. We can get the auto brake, which is off, passing through 400 feet. We can get ONAV, which is now engaged, as we are following the flight director. As we now speed up and set our bugs up to our flap retraction. So we've got up to 190. Flight director will now start to move down as we pitch down in 4D departure now, as we climb up to our flap speed. So we're going to go onto that right hand turn, which is going to be onto the 285. As we're going for a flaps 2 now, passing through 2,000 feet. Okay, so as the weather's obviously resetting itself, just stay on track, keep the controls nice and still as we go into that right hand turn. And there's 190, so I'm going to knock the flaps out now as we come through, and we go up to 240 now. Okay, which is VNAV's in as we're passing through 1,800 feet. On our way through, our flaps can now be fully retracted. So as we now speed up to 250, now speed passing through 2,200 feet. We're going to get ready to go into that left hand turn as we turn off the landing gear, which is set, and now we're going to that left. Passing through 230 on the speed and 3,000 feet. Once we go and lift up past through 5,000, that's when we can then switch over the QNHs. Okay, so we move the aircraft back round, get a bit of trimming. As we pass through 3,004, and now deviate back on course, ready to come out onto the SID. It's 4,000 feet, we can now get the autopilot in, and the aircraft now has control. There's 5,000 airclad. Once we move, as we're going to go through from airclad, so we can now bug up to 240. Which is checked. After takeoff checklist, runway turn-off lights can go off, engine start switches can go off. Cabin has been warned, we leave the seatbelt signs on for now. Flaps are fully retracted, lights out, gear is up and off, and auto brake is off as well. As we're at 250 knots now, holding for 5,000 feet till we get past from airclad, and then we are all ready to go. So that is it for the departure, guys. As we're now going to rise up, just as we leave airclad, the aircraft's then going to pitch up as we rise through. And we can see that we are on the departure, 5,016 DME, and airclad is where we're then going to break off and move on to the 128. As we now start to make our send up to flight level 240, climbing a rate of just around 3,000 feet per minute, we're going to go on to that left hand turn, which should be around on from 10, which is going to be on to 306. Okay, 306, which is in as we go onto that left hand turn, and we have 25 degrees off bank. Landing lights off under 10 over 10,000 feet. QNHs can go back now to 1013. Which is checked. And 1013. Which is also set and checked, passing through 8,600 feet. As we've got some lovely views on our way round, we'll do a 4K flight of this flight, as we have got the zoom level 17 of the orthos in as well. Recall is clear. And we can now go to our takeoff cinematics, guys. So I'm going to leave you with the takeoff, and then we'll be back at our top of descent ready to come in for the IS for 22, coming into Belfast City with the 737-300 with the Air Lingus flight. So we'll see you guys when we get back. Belfast City as we get the aircraft ready and set to go. So we've got visibility 10 kilometers. We've got winds which are coming through at 270 at 9, gusting at 17. Fuel at 1600, broken at 4001, temperature is 7, and QNH is 2981 as well as we get ready to come down. So I'm going to reset the MCP as we come through. All the way down, as we're going to go down to 2,000 feet by the time we get down to Maggie, where we're then going to basically roll through. So there's 2,000 feet. When we come through from Maggie, 2,000, and then from our initial point, the locator's 3,000. And then 10 DME as we're coming through for 2,000 feet. We're going to join in on the pattern for 218, which we can see right here as we are ready to roll in. And then we'll join in for the 108.1. We can get Belfast 420 on the NDB. Okay, which is also set. Plug that in for number 2. The VORs as we ride through. On the 108.1 as we're going to come in, and we've got the Belfast, which is just going to be over to the left of us. I'm going to plug that in, and I'm going to plug Belfast, which is the 117.2. Which is all in and checked for us. So as we are now already in, we've got Belfast, which is 83 nautical miles away. There we see on the display here, we can see the direction as well of Belfast, which is just over to the left of us. If we zoom out, we can see there a radio magnetic indicator as it's displaying over on the DME, as this will be for the first DME, that will be the second DME arrow, and as we're on the second DME 2, we're pointing over onto 300 for the Belfast VOR. So we'd use all this with the 747-200 as we get ready. Then as our top of descent coming into view, we should see the vertical deviation pop up as we get ready to come down. For our minimums, we are going to be looking to come in on for the minimums, which is going to be 212 for a 200 foot. So we've got 200 foot, which is already set in. There's our top of descent just coming into view, and we are now going to start to descend as the vertical deviation is there. Once we pass through under 10,000, we've got 230 Maggie, 280 for Massop for 21 as we come down. So we can see that we're not too far away now as we just zoom in. Ready to come. We'll blast in for the MCP altitude. As you can see, 280 for Massop. That's where we're inbound to, and then 58 nautical miles for 2,000 feet, which is fine. So as we descend now through 230, as we can slowly just descend down through around 1,500 feet. That's fine. We keep 1,500, so the aircraft can keep on to a constant descent. With level change, it's going to keep on adjusting its pitch for the speed. So it's like a VNAV speed. As we pass through 9,004. Winds are now increasing up to 240. You can see the gusts coming in. So I'm going to start to bring the control columns over. And we'll make sure we don't knock out the autopilot. There we go. There we go. So just moving over the control column, and as you can see, the aircraft was going out with the autopilot because we moved the yoke, which then knocked us out. So and the speed brakes now one more time as we pass through 8,000 feet. Go for our flaps up speed. See now the wind's turned into a tailwind. Passing through 7,002. So as we can go in up to 250 knots, and on the speed brakes now, and we're going for a flaps 5, which should give us that a little bit more drag coming down onto the runway. Now currently 16 nautical miles before we come through. Flaps 1's just passing. And the aircraft's now going to start to decel. So we'll bring it down to 175. I've got 168. 222. As we just need to get above us, we're just a little bit over speed. Passing through 5,009. .1, which is in and confirmed. 108.1 for the 218. So until we get down to 2,000 feet, the aircraft is going to struggle with its speed. As we've got 25 knots just before, so once we made the left-hand turn, as we can see, the ILS localizers there. So I'm going to get the localizer just over to the right, which can come in now, as we should slowly start to decel. Once we get near to 2,000 feet, we'll make the left-hand turn, and then we'll be able to properly decel the aircraft. As we are coming in just a little fast. Let's pass through 4,009. So as we just ride under, localizer will switch over to the right. Passing through 4,002, so I'm going to get the Q&H's over now, which are 09, 981, which is in, which is checked. And 981, which is also in and checked. Passing through 3,000 feet. So I'm going to go on to the left. I'm going to take the localizer out until it gets over to the right hand side. As we now get ready for that right hand turn. And there's the localizer in. Going to level off for 2,000 feet, so the approach can stay. Now the aircraft will start to slow itself down, as winds are going to be coming over from the right hand side. Down now for 175, which is in. There's the localizer. Let's come down to 175. Speed brakes are armed. See the winds now 173, gusting to 28. See, the winds are very bad. The glide slope slowly making its way down now as we come through. And 150. There we go, flaps 15, get down. Single channel now, glide slopes in. Pass through 2,000 feet. Runway turn-off lights can go on, which are checked. Missed approach altitude coming through, which is going to be for 3,000 feet, which is also sand checked. And we are established on the glide slope now, on our way down. 3 green down for the landing gear. Flaps 15, which is set. To flaps 30, which is going to be giving us for around about 135, staying for 140. So we've got landing gear down, 3 green, flaps are 30, lights out. Overhead we've got landing lights, runway tunnels which are all on and checked. Now we are established on the single channel now. Coming down to our VRAV, which is 140. And as we're coming in for around 140 on the descent, we're looking for around about 700 feet per minute. We'll see the runway in sight. There's a runway. Passing through 800. So runway is in sight now, and what we can do is we can disengage the autopilot and disengage the auto throttle, and now I have control of the aircraft. So as we just stay within on the glide slope. Don't seem too bad as we come through. can see the wind coming in just a little bit now where it's gusting. Too red, too white. Let's just try and manage our speed with the gusts. Okay, that's a glide slope, so we can start to lift up a little. Get some power in. Belfast City. 737-300 handles just a little bit more different to the 800. It's lighter, so with the flare you don't have to go too aggressive, but it will still try and float out as we wasn't too heavy. So as we get the speed brakes now back up, as speed brakes are fully retracted, we can get the flaps now off. All the brakes can be turned off as well, and we are now ready to vacate off of the runway. So I hope you guys did enjoy the flight as we just basically taxi off, then we'll go to our landing cinematics and we can check out the landing on the ground. Let's cross over the whole shore, we'll get the strobes off. So we'll get the strobes off now, and get the landing lights, which can all go off as well. Runway turn-offs. Taxis can go on, we get the APU all up and running. And we are all ready to go. So I'm going to leave you with the landing cinematics, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the flight tonight. Leave a comment down below of which flight you'd like to see next, and I'll see you all again on the next available flight on the channel. So stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.